Gotcha. I got those strapped a little tight. There, try to move it closer to you now, Dylan. We're good. All right, we're live in the podcast studio with Dylan Wagner, Jesse, and myself. So, introduce yourself.
I'm Dylan. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So Dylan did all the work on my farm and transformed it. Kind of that's why we're here tonight. We became friends, and we're going to have something really cool for you guys. Later on this podcast, we'll kind of start talking about that, and we're going to have a farm makeover giveaway. So what's new with you?
Not much, just kind of in that busy time of year, just running and gunning.
Yeah, you're a busy man. How many guys you got working?
We got 3 guys.
3 guys, and then 3 skid loaders?
We got 5 skid loaders.
5 skid loaders? Yep. What are you running for skids?
Mainly ASV.
And you got 1 John Deere?
Yep, 1 Deere.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it was cool. So I, with work, I run a 333 G, and watching you with your ASVs.
Yep.
Just roll over logs and the suspension on the tracks, even like loading it on the trailer. Like I'm going up the trailer like today when I was on it. You hit that point where it just crashes down. And you're just nice and smooth right over it.
Yep.
It's really cool to watch. And then all the attachments that you have for the skid loaders. You have the saw.
Yep, we've got saws, forestry mulchers. I mean, really anything for tree and brush removal. Got mowers, stuff like that. I mean, but primarily the saws and the mulchers are the go-to.
The Fecon is what you're running on those.
Yeah.
Those things are nice. And the saws, I got to watch one of those at work, and it's one of those work on my farm, and it was really cool. The big trees, and the coolest thing about it is, I mean, it'll take stuff down as big as a huge chainsaw would, but you're not, with a chainsaw, you're hitting the dirt and you're doling your chain, so you can't get those flush cut stumps. And with your machine,
right,
I mean, you can plant right over it.
Right, yep.
So, which I did. I planted my clover, and it's already coming up.
Yeah,
and
sweet.
So it's exciting. I got to treat it here probably this week sometime. But, yeah, so it's exciting time. It's almost May.
Yeah.
Got a few more days.
Couple.
Turkey season's going good. Jay shot his first turkey with Jesse. That video's out now. We'll have a my farm makeover video soon once I get Jesse all the stuff. We got guys killing turkeys right and left, and 4th season is in 2 days. The 30th?
Something like that.
Yeah, so I got 1 more day to kill a turkey, which is not looking promising.
Yeah, we're supposed to get weather tonight. I don't know what we're going to get, but...
Yeah, there was supposed to be potential tornadoes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it got moved north and east.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it.
The guy who's on Facebook and YouTube, Reed Timmer, the Dominator, he's out northwest Iowa chasing tornadoes right now, or chasing storms.
Yeah, I think I saw something. He was over in Omaha earlier.
Yeah, he ended up coming across to Iowa, and he's on a couple of cells, but yeah, it's fun watching that. Kind of moving forward, I guess let's get into the giveaway. We're going to go shoot a video here soon. But what the giveaway entails is 8 hours of work.
Yeah, yep.
On your own farm, or it's either got to be your own farm, family farm. There's got to be permission. I think we're not going to go as far as leases go. We're not going to do that. But so your own personal farm, or if you have a farm in your family and everybody's okay with it, we're going to do a farm makeover giveaway where Jesse and I are going to go in and look at the topo of your farm and kind of come up with a plan. And depending on how much, intel you give us, or you want to be, involved in the plan, as little or as much as you want, we'll write something up. Here's our idea as far as a whitetail strategy goes. And we've got our own farms that we've, managed, and we've hunted so many other farms where I wish I could do this to make this farm better. So, and we've done pretty well as far as, and we understand deer. So I guess that's a big key factor, knowing what they need, what they want, and how they kind of traverse through the landscape. So it's going to be fun writing that plan up and then working with your company, which you want to throw a little plug in there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I own Circle W Land Management. We've been in business 20 years. Like I said, we've got 3 guys who work for us. They've been with me forever. We've invested in really top-of-the-line equipment to kind of deliver what we do. I guess a little more about us. We kind of traveled the Midwest doing this service, done a lot of government contracting, and my wife and I had our first child about 2.5 years ago, so we're kind of trying to focus on kind of bringing it back to primarily staying in Iowa for the most part. So that's kind of why we're here right now. It's kind of fun doing this. It's kind of like I'm starting another business now, kind of doing the promotion thing with that. And so it's good. We're kind of excited for the transition with it and getting excited to meet some new customer base and kind of hit the ground running that way. So
Yeah, that is exciting. And you can find them on Facebook and Instagram.
yeah, yep.
So,
Yep.
But our giveaway, so it's going to be 8 hours of work, depending on, what you want. If it's a blank slate, we'll go through and write you up a plan. And then we're going to do the giveaway on July 4th is the day that we're going to announce the winner. To enter, all you have to do is go on one of our Facebook pages and write how many acres that you own or your family owns. Make sure you have permission. You got to like your Facebook page, Instagram page,
Yep.
which will have all that stuff in the comments. And we're going to have seed from Domain outdoors, kind of depending on what you want. That time of year, it's really turnips, radishes, as far as planting goes. So it's going to be a farm makeover, and it's going to be a sweet collab. So
Yeah.
I think
It's gonna be
people
fun.
enjoy it. We're going to have hopefully a YouTube video out of the process and kind of everything that we do, writing this plan up. And, it's going to be one of the first management plans that we've wrote. But I think there's a lot of knowledge that will go into it and years of experience. Got anything to say, Jesse?
Nope. I'm just letting you're the one that's been through it already, and you guys worked together and did yours. So
Yeah, and it's as far as transforming it goes. Jesse ran his drone over the property before we started, and it's a little too windy today.
yeah, it's not
Run
gonna
it,
not gonna
check it
work
out,
today. That's
but
for sure.
We've got some really large burn piles that if we get some steady days, it's going to burn for a while. So
Yeah.
probably 3 days of below 15-mile-an-hour winds, but everything's greening up, so I'll be able to get that burn soon. But everything, completely transformed the farm. And I was looking, dude, it was like a week and a half. The farm looks completely different.
I know.
It was 2 of the main days when you were here. Like, we just night and day different. So it's exciting. I'm had a guy walk for mushrooms. That was yesterday. He's like, man, the farm looks completely different. Like, this is cool.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with if you have the right equipment and have the knowledge of knowing what you're doing to do it and do the work, there's not a lot you can't do. And I think that's the biggest thing is people because I walked your farm before everything and then saw some of the videos, and I think you sent a snap of you guys fishing at the pond, and I'm like, couldn't even see anything the last time I was there. So now you can see that whole hillside all the way up to the top, and stuff starting to green up, and it's the right equipment.
Right. It is too. The right equipment and the right vision. The biggest thing is your vision and what you want to do. Like Dylan went with his forestry head and took out all the honeysuckle and autumn olive along the fence line, which I envision that's where my apple orchard is going to go. And that's where I already planted 9 trees. And then we left a little bit for view shed from the road. And I also planted some sorghum, sunflowers. And we did a lot in a little bit of time. Yeah. And it's going to be a clover hillside with the hawk blind sitting up on it, which I put there on purpose because it's 210 yards away from each house. I put that. I hunt stand, and I'm like, all right, they can't complain if I'm 200 yards or more. So I went every which way on hunt stand and measured that. So that was kind of a cool feature if you guys were
Make it
using
easy.
the hunt stand app. But yeah, we have an interior plot, and the deer pond's in there, and the deer are starting to use it. It's filling up on its own, which all the
Yeah, we've had a lot of. Just hope this rain continues all summer long. That's one thing I would like.
Yeah, and I did. You've probably seen it, but Mark Drury was on a podcast talking about how this is going to be one of the driest years, and I hope he's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Farmer's Almanac or what, but
It was something with like 89 so many years, like 49 years. It's some loop that it happens. Like it was literally the Dust Bowl, and then there was another one like in the 50s, and it was like the same exact thing. And they didn't know if it was like 1 or 2 years either way, or if last year was the really dry year.
I'm going to go ahead and say last year.
It was awful
because it shut off the light switch. The rivers were so low.
I mean, it was 8 weeks.
Was the worst
8 weeks
we've ever had
on my farm with zero precipitation. Not even 100th of a rain cloud.
I'm going to say they were a year off.
I hope so.
Last year was it.
But one of the things Marcus said is they're getting all their ag in early.
Yep.
They're getting all their planting in early so the roots can get established. And I think that's what burned me up last year with like my corn plots is we planted early, zero germination, a bad bag of seed, 100%. It was planted on 3 different farms, not a single stalk grew. So we had to wait. We didn't realize it. So you wait 10, 12 days. Oh crap, nothing came up. Right. Now you have to find the time to plant it again, having lives. And it was like the end of June before we ever put corn back in the ground. And it was awful. It grew ears, but the coons and deer absolutely destroyed it.
That is rough.
So yeah, that's kind of one of the things where I'm at is like, if I can get this food in the ground as soon as I possibly can, that's where I'm at. Just in case it is dry.
That's why the last 3 years, and I've said this before and I've said it again, turnips July, mid-July, early July, wait for that rain. Because historically the last 3 to 4 years, we went into that kind of that late, summer drought.
Yeah, if you can have everything prepped and ready to go, and all you have to do is just go spread and, maybe harrow a little bit or cultipax just to get that seed in there. And
so I'm excited for this collab. I think it's going to be sweet. The amount of work that Dylan can do in a short amount of time. Like I said, it's going to be July 4th. We're going to talk to the winner. We're going to write up a plan. We're going to talk, whoever wins, we're going to have a phone conversation or meet in person, depending where you are at in Iowa. This is only for Iowa. And we're going to write you something up, and hopefully this fall you're successful. And it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yep.
There's a lot of landowners out there that hopefully you guys are listening to this, and it's a free, like literally free. You have to go in and, comment, like our pages on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, both of our pages.
Spend like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. And you enter.
And that's it.
And you could enter,
what's a day's worth of work?
2,500 typical.
So, between that, the seeds, a little bit extra time, you're, $3,000-$4,000 when it's all said and done.
And this could change the outcome of your season. It really could. There's a lot of guys out there that don't like box blinds. They don't like food plots. If that's you and you want us to, Dylan to go in and make some trails on, timber ridges, you want pinches, you can take a skid loader and push up some trees and kind of funnel the deer out. We're willing to work around what your vision is. And if you don't have a vision, we would love to help with that vision.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it's really hard to describe the amount of what we can achieve in an 8-hour day with the equipment that we have. You know?
The one video you had 3 or 4 skid loaders running on one farm. It's like, wow. Just in an hour, you could just.
Yeah.
But as far as this goes, 1 skid loader, 3 attachments. You got we already talked about this, your saw, forestry head, grapple.
Yep.
And there's a lot that can be done in a little amount of time. So we're going to get off of here. These guys got other stuff to do. We're going to go shoot this video quick. Jesse will get it edited, and he'll get it posted up on our Facebook pages. Sure. And like I said, comment how many acres you have. And, we hope you guys win, and hopefully you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. This
Hey,
was
thanks for being here.
that's good.
Short and sweet and to the point.
Are we gonna be able to do this video because it's so windy?
Figured out.
Okay.
You get down in the timber.
So that pond it was windy yesterday. You can tell. So we can get down on the pond.
Yeah, it's down in the bottom. That's kind of where I thought anyways.
Yeah. We're on over there. Then we'll get your T-post loaded.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah.